Today's episode is brought to you by your new friend telling you that she loves you for the first time. It's very underrated. Now I find a perfect-looking specimen. Trump to J.D. Vance during a speech the other day about how J.D. Vance recently lost a lot of weight. Insert theme song here. This is the Daily Sarcast. I give you the news and maybe a laugh. I'm Lindsey Vernick, and it's April 7th, 2026. Just a heads up, I am now officially back to work, and I am going to keep the podcast going. I work about anywhere from 10 to 14-hour days, so the podcast may be a little short some days, but just know that I am still giving it my all, and I am going to do my best to keep the Daily Sarcast every weekday. Oh, and while I'm also talking about this, please make sure that you send this to a friend or a family member or somebody that you recently hooked up with because, why not? In real news, Trump has given Iran a very specific deadline to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which is basically one of the most important oil routes in the world, or he's threatening to wipe out their infrastructure. And not vaguely. He literally said Iran could be taken out in one night and sent back to the Stone Age. Nice. But also in the same breath, he's also saying Iran wants a deal and is actively participating in negotiations. Iran responded by saying if the U.S. attacks civilian infrastructure like bridges or power plants, they'll retaliate in a crushing way. That doesn't sound very cute, does it? At the same time, though, they sent over a 10-point peace proposal, which all very much sounds like a very similar fight that my sister and I have frequently. The peace proposal includes ending the war permanently, guarantees they won't be attacked again, lifting all sanctions, and reopening the strait. And then, slight twist, they also want to co-manage the strait and charge tolls. So it's like, let's stop the war and also start a business together. Meanwhile, on the ground, things are not exactly calming down. Israel killed another top Iranian commander. Airstrikes hit Tehran, including a major university, and missiles and drones are being fired across Israel and toward the UAE. And global fuel prices are rising because the strait is still disrupted. So while leaders are talking about peace, everyone else is still actively fighting. There's a real-life Castaway moment happening right now, but with a cruise ship. A luxury cruise ship called the MV Fiji Princess ran on top of a reef near a tiny island off Fiji. And it's the exact same island where Tom Hanks in Castaway was stranded. Literally the same island. The ship was carrying 30 passengers and 31 crew members when it hit a reef, an uninhabited island in the Manuka Islands. The ship ended up getting stuck and taking on water and really got damaged. But unlike Tom Hanks, everyone got rescued pretty quickly. All 30 passengers were safely evacuated and brought back to the mainland, along with most of the crew. So no one had to build a shelter out of driftwood or have emotional conversations with a volleyball, which is always a win. Now, here's the serious part about it. The ship was carrying about 20,000 liters of diesel fuel, and officials are working to remove it to prevent an environmental disaster. The concern is that if the fuel leaks, it could damage the surrounding coral reefs, which, if you've ever seen them, are kind of the whole appeal of the place. The cruise company said the ship likely hit trouble because of a sudden severe storm that pushed the anchor into the reef. And this whole area is actually a really big tourist hotspot. It's known for crystal clear water, marine life, and shipwreck diving. It's also been used for filming shows like Survivor and obviously Castaway, which has now achieved a full circle moment. The Trump administration just made a move that's already raising a lot of eyebrows. I mean, what else is new? They've started terminating multiple civil rights settlements that were designed to protect transgender students in schools. These weren't random policies. These were agreements made over years under both Democratic and Republican administrations to ensure schools weren't discriminating against students based on gender identity. And now this federal government is basically saying those agreements are over. The Education Department says that there's no precedent for this, meaning there isn't something that's typically done here. Normally, once a civil rights settlement is reached, it just stays in place because obviously, why wouldn't it? But now schools are being told to choose. So either follow the federal government's new interpretation of the law or follow the state's laws or potentially just get caught in the middle of both. This move is a part of a broader push from the administration to enforce an executive order that recognizes only biological sex assigned at birth and to roll back protections tied to gender identity. At least 40 civil rights investigations have been opened into schools providing protections for transgender students. And the administration has also sued multiple states over policies that allow transgender athletes to participate in school sports. This is obviously like 5 major steps backwards. The federal government has never gone back and canceled existing civil rights settlement like this. Again, go figure. Advocates for transgender students say it sends a chilling message, essentially signaling that these students are being targeted. No way. Again, go figure. On the other side, administration officials are framing it as enforcing the law and restoring what they call common sense. Maybe on tomorrow's episode, I'll talk about how we're actually now living in the upside down world of Stranger Things. So some school districts are now stuck in the middle of all this. Some even say they haven't even been officially notified yet. And others are saying that they don't plan to change anything. They don't care. And a few are already being told to reverse policies or risk losing federal funding, which is obviously a really hard decision to make. In Lindsey life, I had my first day of work yesterday. I'm a producer on a new show. I'm talent producing for the first time, which means that I'm just a producer in charge of talent and only talent, which I've never done before. So I had to prepare the dressing rooms for the cast members to come in. And I tried to put together a lot of those like hanging racks for your clothes and stuff from Target. And by that, I mean I tried to put a lot of wardrobes together, but it was really hard. And then I had to ask a lot of PAs to come in and help me. Lindsey Lessons, a lesson by Linz. Traveling 45 minutes in New York City is so much different than traveling 45 minutes in the car on the highway. Cooking tip of the day. Tofu dipped in baba ganoush is very yummy. Feedback, comments, questions, and Nice Jewish while looking for a date? Email me at lindsay@thedailysarcast.com. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.